Talent counts, but effort counts twice. You can see that little bit of graphic there, and she gives, again, some stories that go along with it. But when you take talent, no matter how great and how minimal it might be, no matter how great it might be, but when you take a talent and you combine it with effort and continue to practice and keep doing the thing and do it over and over again and do whatever it takes to get better at it, it will then create your talent into a skill. And then when you take that skill and combine it again with more effort, it will bring forth achievement, okay? So talent counts once, but effort counts twice. And so the person that is half as talented but works twice as hard will actually achieve more than the person with the talent, okay? And so if you look at somebody like a Tiger Woods or a Kobe Bryant, obviously, these guys were unbelievably talented. You couldn't have accomplished what they did in athletics if they didn't have talent. But I can assure you this, if you listen to the stories of those two, they had a work ethic and a grit like nobody you've ever seen, where they would take shot after shot after shot until late into the night. Kobe would get finished with the game after playing for 3 hours, after being beat up by guys, and then stay in the gym until 1, 2, 3 in the morning shooting baskets, or getting up the next morning at 4 a.m. and coming in for hours and hours and hours. Even after winning multiple championships, the stories are legendary of rookies who would come into the league and they'd want to go out and party. And he said, no, we're not going out and partying. You better be in bed by 9 p.m. because I'm waking your butt up at 4 a.m. because we're going to take shots. He had already established himself as one of the greatest players of all time. And yet at 4 a.m., he's up doing the work, grinding with the grit. If they didn't have the work ethic and the grit and the effort that they did, you wouldn't know either one of their names, no matter how much talent they had, okay? Another amazing story she shares in the book is about the author John Irving. Anybody read a John Irving book before? Great American storyteller and novelist. He's won a ton of awards. He sold 12 million books, okay? You think he's made decent money with 12 million books? Of course. His story is one of not having talent and the reflection of and showing how much effort really counts in this process. John Irving, even though he's one of the great American authors and has sold all these books and has told some stories that 5 of his books have been turned into movies, screenplays for movies. He's been wildly successful in writing, and yet he scored a 475 out of 800. I blew him away in the SAT on the verbal, right? He got a 475 out of 800 on the verbal part of the SAT. 2/3 of Americans beat him on the SAT on the verbal part, not even the math part, right? On the writing and verbal part, and he's one of the greatest authors of our time. He got a C- in college English. Doesn't that professor feel dumb? Right? He gets a C- in college English and yet surpasses anybody in any U.S. college and what they've done in writing. Right? And so it's unbelievable. And the reason why he was so good is because, again, legendary stories where he would rewrite and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite manuscript over and over and over again until it was perfect. And then if he reread it and he didn't like it, he'd tear it up and write it again. And he would just tenacious about rewriting and rewriting until it was absolutely perfect. Is the power of effort and continuing in the face of difficulty. It's unbelievably important.